You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away and know when to run. Never count your money when you're sitting at the table. Time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Doing some Kenny Rogers, The Gambler. This song is in the key of E flat. If you want to match the recording, you need a capo on the first fret, but I'm assuming most of you don't have capos, and I want to keep this beginner friendly. New ukulele tutorials Wednesday and Saturday. Subscribe if you like this kind of content. If you love it, you can get a printable tab with each lesson up here in the notes by becoming a Patreon. Information how to sign up in the description. You'll see my email there if you want some one-on-one lessons as well. Ukulele, brain attention span. Follow me on in. Let's know when to hold them. All right, so we're going to go ahead and break this one down. I'm gearing it towards beginners. An easy, super fun beginner tune. Only 3 chords. D major. Now you want to play your D with these 3 fingers and not these 3 fingers, because later that will set you up for the E chord. So sometimes good habits aren't about what you're doing now, but what you'll do further down the line. G major and an A major. That means we are in the key of D, and we have a 1 chord, 4 chord, and a 5 chord. Now the actual song is in the key of E flat. So if you have a capo and put it on the first fret, you can play along with Kenny's key without any bar chords. Now, capos I think are quite a bit easier on larger ukuleles. So if you're experimenting with this one and you have one, I would say start with your largest ukulele, tenor or concert. But if you only have a soprano, that works too. The song also has a key change up a half step, but we're gonna just keep it in the key of D because it's a lot easier for you beginners, okay? So let's start with the strum pattern in the intro. Our strum is the boom chukka, which is down, down, up, down, down, up. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka. And the 2 and the 4, you strum a little louder if you want to get the dynamics. Down, down, up, down, down, up. Boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka. But make sure you can get it in time before you start to adjust the dynamics. The intro will be D, G, D, G. Boom, chicka, 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 boom. We're into the verse. Now, the verse and the chorus have different chord progressions, but they're similar. We're going to look at them in chunks of 4 because it's a 16 measure verse, and each 4 measures is slightly different. The first time through, it's D for 2 strum patterns, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka, boom, chicka, G for 1, and D for 1. On a warm summer evening, on a train bound for nowhere. Okay. The next time, it's 3D and 1A. 1, 2, 3, and A. I met up with a gambler. We're both too tired to sleep. So the third time through is the same as the first time through. Now, for whatever reason, this third phrase is the hardest for me to sing because of the timing. We took turns staring out of the window, the darkness till boom. The last time through is 1 strum pattern on G, 1 on D, 1 on A, and 1 on D. Keep smacking the microphone, sorry. So let's strum through the verse slowly without any lyrics, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. D, D, G, D, 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 and A. D, D, G, and D. G, D, A, and D. A warm summer evening, train bound for nowhere. We met up with a gambler. We were both too tired to sleep. We took turns staring out of the window at the darkness till boredom overtook us, he began to speak. See how that, when we took turns staring out the window at the darkness, it's just, I don't hear that melody as well in my head. Now we go to the second verse and it's the same. He said, son, I've made a living of reading people's faces, knowing what their chords are, the way they held their eyes. You don't mind me saying, I can see you're out of aces. A taste of your whiskey, I will give you some advice. Now, after the second verse, before the third verse, he strums one extra D in there. So you could think about the last time through as G, D, A, D, D. Or you could think about just a one measure bridge with just one D chord. All right. So now we're in the third verse, and for the third verse, same as the first two verses. So I handed him my bottle. He drank down my last swallow. He bummed a cigarette and he asked me for a light. The night got deathly quiet. His face it lost expression. Said, if you're gonna play the game, boy, learn to play it right. Okay, then again there's an extra D after that one before we get to the chorus. Now the chorus is a little different, so let's take a look. So we start the same D, D, G, D. And then we get to the next one, and it's actually going to go G, D, D, A this time. So that extra G there is our first change. You gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and when to run. Now we're on the back end, and here we go D, D, G, D again. Never count your money when you're sitting at the table. And here's the biggest change in this last one. You're gonna do half a beat of D, or half a measure of D and half a G. So you go boom, chicka, boom, chicka. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and boom, chicka, back to D. So boom, chicka, one whole D, whole A, and a whole D. So that the in lasts for nice and slow. Okay, so let's play through the whole chorus. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and when to run. Never count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. And then, if you were to do the key change, you would play just 4 measures of D. 2, 3, 4, and he goes up a half step to E flat. To keep it beginner, we're going to keep the entire song in the key of D, but if you were to do that, you would go to E flat, your D becomes E flat, your G becomes A flat, and your A becomes B flat, okay? So and technically, you'd have the capo on the first fret too. So you'd be going from E flat to E. So you could see E flat to E makes this song extremely difficult, but keeping it in the key of D, it's a great beginner tune. You finish the same next 2 verses, same as the first 3. Every gambler knows that the secret to surviving is knowing what to throw away, knowing what to keep, 'cause every hand's a winner and every hand's a loser. The best thing you can hope for is to die in your sleep. And the 5th verse. And when he finished speaking, he turned back towards the window, crushed out his cigarette, and he faded off to sleep. Somewhere in the darkness, the gambler, he broke even. In his final words, I found an ace that keep. And then you go into the chorus one last time. 1, 2, 3, 4. On a warm summer evening, the train ran from nowhere. I met with a gambler. We were both too tired to sleep. Took turns staring out of the window. The darkness till boredom overtook us. He began to speak. Said, son, I made a life out of reading people's faces, knowing what the cards were, the way they held their eyes. You don't mind me saying, I can see you're out of aces. A taste of your whiskey, I'll give you some advice. I handed him my bottle, he drank down my last swallow. They bummed a cigarette, and he asked me for a light. The night got deathly quiet. His face lost all expression. Said, if you're gonna play the game, boy, you're gonna learn to play it right. You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. Never count your money when you're sitting at the table. Time enough for counting when the dealing's done. 1, 2, 3, 4. Every gambler knows the secret in surviving is knowing what to throw away, what to keep. Every gambler sinner and every hand a loser. Best that you can hope for is die in your sleep. And when he finished speaking, he turned back to the window, crushed out his cigarette and faded off to sleep. Somewhere in the darkness, gambler he broke even, and his final words out loud, place I could keep. You got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and when to run. Never count your money. You're sitting at the table, every time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Woo. I always thought this song would be really cool, slowed down in a minor key. Like, you've got to know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, and when to run. Never count your money when you're sitting at the table. Your time enough for counting when the dealing's done. I think that sounds cool, right? All right. Thank you for learning with us. If you want to become a Patreon, cheaper than a cheap cheeseburger, links up here. And make sure you hit subscribe, ring the bell so you never miss a lesson. The Gambler by Kenny Rogers. Rock and roll.